Okay, back by mild to lukewarm demand. The video series is back, and I'm going to do a little bit of recapping of some trades that went down last week. We had our standard flurry of trades as the trade deadline fast approached. And the first one I'll talk about is Flynn trading Pierre Thomas to Jeff for Tony Romo. My thing is, I don't know if Jeff really watched the Saints-Eagles game on Monday night. This was the last game that was played before this trade was made for Pierre Thomas. And Pierre Thomas was the third option, basically. You know, he got 6 carries. I know Jeff's extremely thin at running back, and he has Andy Dalton, who is pretty equivalent to Tony Romo, but Flynn was able to get the security blanket he didn't have at quarterback. And Max Schaub is just not a great fantasy quarterback. You know, in a 14-team league, he's a borderline starter, but Romo, despite his average numbers this year, is definitely a solid fantasy quarterback. Jeff took Tony Romo in the second round. He was never going to keep him, so he was able to get marginally better. I mean, Pierre Thomas, again, is really nothing special, and not only that, you know, Sproles is going to be back soon. You know, the first reports were 4 to 6 weeks, and now it looks like he might come back this week, if not next week. So basically, Flynn got a massive security blanket, which came into play immediately. Jeff got very marginally better, and the rest of us are probably going to be regretting that trade once it comes down to it, and Flynn's not starting Matt Schaub at quarterback, he's starting Tony Romo in the playoffs. The next 2 trades, I'll kind of combine them, since they both involve Bobby. So Bobby trades Peyton Manning to Versant for Carson Palmer in next year's 5th-round pick. The pick becomes a 3rd if Kevin makes the playoffs. I believe Kevin is 5-5 right now, or 4-6. Either way, it's, you know, he's probably 50% to make the playoffs. With this trade, obviously that number would possibly be lower before, but if Kevin ever doesn't make the playoffs, this trade winds up being absolute fleecing. I mean, Peyton Manning for a 5th. Basically, Bobby traded Vincent Jackson for a 3rd and a 6th. So even if Kevin makes the playoffs, Peyton Manning's only getting him a 3rd, and he got a 3rd and a 6th for Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson's a 3rd rounder, so borderline keepable. Peyton Manning has another year as a 5th rounder. So really, Vincent Jackson wound up getting quite a bit more than Peyton Manning's worth. And think of it like if we redrafted today, Peyton Manning would almost certainly go before Vincent Jackson. If anything, they'd go really, really close together. So this was kind of a curious combination here. The rest of the trades here involve me, so I'm going to maybe put up another one a little later. I'll try to find the other trades, and we'll talk about those.